teaching you exposition of the Blessed Sacrament with Vespers in the absence of a priest or a deacon. So what a lay person would be able to do. So in our archdiocese, a lay person has permission to do exposition of the Blessed Sacrament, but there's going to be some things that are different. So we're going to talk about what that looks like and kind of go through this process. So we here at the Christian Renewal Center, we have a holy hour 3 times a week for our missionary staff that lives on site. And during that holy hour, we do it in the evening. So we have evening prayer or Vespers, the liturgy of the hours. Now, in another video, we talked about liturgy of the hours. So hopefully you're an expert at that now. So what we do for our holy hour, once again, so if you're a trained sacristan, then you're able to expose the Blessed Sacrament. And so obviously having other sacristans is very beneficial for us here at the Christian Renewal Center. So you can talk with your parish. I know in multiple dioceses that I've been in, lay people have had permission to do the exposition of the Blessed Sacrament. So exposition of the Blessed Sacrament looks different with a lay person than a clergy. So when a lay person does exposition of the Blessed Sacrament, it's kind of like a lay person leading a communion service, right? So this is a communion service. Maybe you go to a nursing home and you have a communion service that you lead. So you're not necessarily the leader. And so, you know, at Mass, it's clearly the priest is the one that we are all following. So it's not so much me. So it's really important that if I'm the one that's the kind of the leader, that I'm not like, look at me, I'm a leader, I'm special, I'm different. So here at the Christian Renewal Center, we do not dress in an owl to do exposition of the Blessed Sacrament. We want to make it very clear we are part of the laity and we are not separate as far as like a ministerially separate person. The clergy, when they do exposition of the Blessed Sacrament, they're dressed in their owl, they're dressed in the vestments, they're dressed, you know, with the coat. We're not dressed in that, okay? So exposition of the Blessed Sacrament, we will prepare before our holy hour. How we prepare, we come up to the altar. The altar already has the altar cloth on it. We're going to take a corporal. We're going to open the corporal up just like we would have opened up a corporal for the celebration of Mass. We're then going to take our monstrance and we're going to turn our monstrance where it's sideways, right? So like all the pews are kind of how you're watching us. So it's turned sideways. Usually when you see a monstrance turned sideways, that's the way of letting people know Jesus is not in the monstrance. We're also going to then go to our altar candles. I think, yeah, you can see that in the video. Our altar candles will be one on each side. So one over here, one over here. Once again, it can be on the altar or it can be off the altar. We're going to light the candles, right? Because so for liturgy of the Mass, for exposition of the Blessed Sacrament, as well as liturgy of the hours, even liturgy of the hours without the Blessed Sacrament, you light the candles because it's all part of that divine liturgy. Now, inside our tabernacle, the Luna is in there with it closed. So so we have this preset before we start. So then at the time, we start at 5 p.m. So at 5 p.m., what ends up happening is we have the leader, they knock. And when they knock, we all stand up. And then we begin singing a song. And the song we sing usually is, Father, I adore you. I'm not the one that usually leads the singing, but I can. So we start singing that song. And while we're singing the song, we're standing up. The extraordinary minister of Holy Communion, right? So that usually our sacristan trained, the extraordinary minister of Holy Communion, they go to the tabernacle. They go and they approach the tabernacle. When they approach the tabernacle, they go down on one knee, they genuflect. They come back up. They unlock the tabernacle and open the tabernacle door. At the point that they open the tabernacle door, Jesus Christ is exposed, right? So Jesus Christ is there in the tabernacle. They go down on 2 knees and everybody goes from standing singing down on their knees on the kneelers if they're able to, right? So then the extraordinary minister of Holy Communion, we might still be singing. They take Jesus, they're holding him very carefully. They come over. And normally they would be standing behind, but I don't have space here in my office with the table that I'm using. Oh, wait a second. It's on wheels. I do have space. So pretty much it looks like this. So they've come over. They're behind the altar. They slide the Luna into the monstrance. Then they're going to secure the monstrance and close it. And then they just turn it. Notice that I'm not lifting it up like, hey, everybody. All I've done is he's setting their stable on the table and I just turn it. And after I turn it, my first response is to go down on both knees. Now we're still singing. So at the point that we have placed the host in the monstrance of the altar, we begin singing O Salutaris. And we sing that song. The person, they go back on their knees. They don't stay up there. They just go back on their knees, a respectful, period. And then they go back to their pew and they join everyone else. So then we're there. So then our process here at the Christian Renewal Center is if everybody who's supposed to or who could be there that evening for prayer, we start our holy hour at 5 p.m. So if there's 2 people in there, we start holy hour at 5 p.m. If there's only 1 person in there, we would not do exposition of the Blessed Sacrament. We always only do exposition of the Blessed Sacrament if there's 2 or more people. So at 5 p.m. we start if there's 2 or more people with the holy hour. Then if everybody's there, after we sing O Salutaris, if everybody that could be there is there, then we go straight into our evening Vespers. The leader for Vespers will knock, and that's how we begin, God, come to my assistance. And then we go through the liturgy of the hours, standing, setting, bowing as is appropriate. The whole time Jesus Christ is exposed in the Blessed Sacrament. Now, what will be different with the liturgy of the hours, when the reader goes up to do the reading, they will go up, and because Jesus is exposed in the Blessed Sacrament, they will genuflect before going to the ambo. After they go to the ambo, they'll do their reading. Then when they are finished with the response, they go and they genuflect again, both knees. I'm sorry, not genuflect, both knees. They go down both knees, and then they return to their seat as we continue the Vespers. Now, if everybody hasn't been at the chapel at the time that we finish singing O Salutaris, and there could be some people coming, but they're maybe finishing up a task or a job for the day, we wait till 5:15. But no matter what, at 5:15, that's the time that we begin evening Vespers, whether everybody's there or not. The people that are there, we begin Vespers. If somebody comes in late, they join in at that point, Vespers. After we have finished Vespers, then it's a chance for private individual devotion. You can be seated, you can be kneeling. We also have a kneeler that's up near the altar that people are welcome to go up and use. Our evening prayer holy hour is open to everybody, so community members are welcome to join us as well. And so we have that time of silent reflection, and then about 5 minutes before the end of the hour, so at 5:55, we begin reposing the Blessed Sacrament. So we begin this by, usually we have an alarm, whoever is in charge sets an alarm on their phone, so we all hear the alarm, kind of like, and it's usually like church bells or something. And when we all hear those church bells, it kind of tells us to wrap up our own individual prayer, and then we go all to kneeling again, and then we sing Tantum Ergo. As we're singing Tantum Ergo, the extraordinary minister of Holy Communion will come up to where the Blessed Sacrament is there in the middle of the altar. They will open up the Blessed Sacrament, or they'll open up the monstrance. They will take the Luna out. They will turn the monstrance sideways. The Luna's in their hand. They will come over to the tabernacle doors, which were there. They'll put the Blessed Sacrament inside the tabernacle. They go down on both knees. After they come back up from both knees, they will lock the tabernacle door. Then they will go back down and genuflect, and then they will return to their seat. Now, during this time, we've been singing Tantum Ergo. So every time we approach the Blessed Sacrament, if he is exposed or out, you go down on both knees. When the tabernacle door is closed and he's inside, you go down on one knee, genuflect. After we've seen Tantum Ergo, then as a collective group, we all stand. So as soon as the tabernacle door is closed, that's when it makes liturgical sense that you stand. So if you're kneeling, at that point, the King of Kings has been reposed, so we should stand up. So even if you're in the middle of Tantum Ergo, you go ahead and you can stand up once those tabernacle doors are closed. And if for some reason the tabernacle door is not closed and we finish Tantum Ergo, you're still kneeling until that tabernacle door closes. So it's kind of this real awareness, always being mindful of where is Jesus Christ, being present to him, right? So after we sing Tantum Ergo, Jesus Christ is in the tabernacle, the door is closed. Then we all stand as a community and we pray the divine praises all together. This is different, right? So then when you have a deacon or a priest leading exposition. So the leader will start by saying, "Blessed be God," and then we don't repeat that. We all then join in for the second line, "Blessed be his holy name." After we say the divine praises together, we're still standing and we sing, "Holy God, we praise thy name." And that concludes our holy hour together. Now, some things that you might notice that would be different. So exposition, if there was a priest or a deacon, they would be able to do benediction, where they're going to, raise the Blessed Sacrament and do the blessing with the Blessed Sacrament. This is really a powerful gift that we're given in our church. And so, always pay attention. And, when they're doing this, bow your head and make the sign of the cross, because they're giving you a blessing. So it's just like at Mass where Father says, "In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit," but it's Jesus Christ who's inside the monstrance in the Luna, right? Jesus Christ himself is giving that blessing. So it's a really powerful blessing. So that's one thing that you'll notice different when a deacon or a priest do it. And you'll see that they're in the cope, and then they have their hands necessarily aren't holding the monstrance. And that's part of the reason that they wear that cape around them, is so that it's not them giving the blessing, but Christ giving the blessing, right? Really quite beautiful. And the other thing you'll notice is when we do they have a couple places where they will say prayers. And then we'll also, when they do the divine praises, they're the leader and we're kind of the follower. We repeat. So they say, blessed be God, and we say, blessed be God. So you can see a little bit of different exposition of the Blessed Sacrament in the absence of a priest or deacon. And these are the protocols that have been approved in our archdiocese for us to utilize here for when we do our holy hour. So now that we've done all this video and you have all this knowledge, the best thing to do is begin training with a mentor so that you have a chance to begin utilizing each of these skills that you've learned, so that you yourself become fully familiar with what you are called to do, how to respect Christ, how to treat him with great reverence, and how to increase your devotion to the Blessed Sacrament, as well as how to increase others' devotions by the way that you act towards Christ, you know. And so it's even as simple as when you walk by a chapel, you know, the tabernacle's there and Christ is inside the tabernacle, making the sign of the cross, or stop and acknowledging his presence, right? This is beautiful stories you can so often hear about St. John Paul II, that he always could kind of know where the Blessed Sacrament was. It was almost like he was a compass just oriented towards knowing Christ. So thanks so much for joining us. I hope these sacristan training videos will help you in your ministry. God bless.